Streaming is live and recording is now. Good.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. Apologies for the minor delay. It is Wednesday, November 22nd. It is 7:09 p.m. and this is the Community Development and Budgetary Priorities Committee meeting for November 22nd, 2023. My name is Serena Muniz and I am the chair of the committee, and I am being joined by my fellow committee members and co-chair.
Malcolm Gray, I'm the co-chair.
And Dwayne Williams.
And online we have
Christine Culpepper.
Stacey and DeLeon.
and Miss Stacy Ann De Leon. Okay, so we will be reviewing the June. We've already collectively reviewed the June minutes, and so we will be passing a motion to approve the June minutes if we reach quorum. If we do not, then we will do that next month. No, not next month, because we will not be meeting next month. We will be meeting in January, so we will approve June and October minutes then. We have the pleasure today of being joined by and we have just been joined by Ryan. Ryan, say hi to everyone.
Hi, everyone.
And so we're being joined today by a phenomenal 501c3 organization within this district, within District 11 of the Bronx. We rise as one, and we wanted to take this opportunity. We collectively, as community members and board members, know a lot of their work, but we wanted to invite them to join us so that they can talk to us a little bit more about what they do, what their mission is, and ultimately in how we can work together. And so I'd like to introduce you to Buddha.
Good evening, everybody.
To Doug.
How y'all doing?
And to James.
Hi, everybody.
So we were talking about maybe just degrees of separation and how we all, interestingly enough, knew each other without even really knowing each other. And Buddha was actually at the Juneteenth event in celebration of our first annual District 11 Juneteenth event, where Dr. Tyrone Pope received a proclamation. And so it was nice to see, that we were speaking over the phone, but we had actually met in the past. I also know that we Rise as One just this past weekend had a turkey donation, right? A turkey giveaway. Giveaway. And so we'll talk about that. And so let's start there. We Rise as One. Talk to us about that. Like, how long has that been in existence, and how did that start?
Well, we started in 2007 under the name of I Am Parkside. I've always seen the need to help people in need, because I was once in need myself, So coming from a family who's been doing it since the 70s, I saw the vision of it. So in 2007, we started off locally with basketball tournaments for the kids and like local barbecues, Father's Day celebration, Mother's Day celebration. Just wanted to highlight and tell the people that we appreciate them for what they do for our community. As we grew, we expanded our horizons, and then in about 2017, we took it to the next level of, from more than basketball tournaments. We started visiting the shelters on a monthly basis, giving away clothes and little personal items for the people in different shelters, placement shelters, homeless shelters, and family shelters, which is we do every month. We implemented a Women's Appreciation Day in front of Mother's Day, because not all women who help us are mothers. Some of you are aunts, grandmothers. So we made that an issue. We also had things for the Mother's Day, Father's Day, of course. We ran a summer tournament for kids, for the youth throughout the summer. And actually with that, the last 3 years, we took our kids to Puerto Rico to play in the big tournaments. So this is how we expanded. After the tournament, we do the back to school book bag giveaway, leading into breast cancer month. We do annual things. We haven't walked the last season. We're about to re-implement that into our schedule.
Breast cancer walk, yeah.
Yeah, the breast cancer walk, excuse me. Thanksgiving and in December, the end of the year off, it will be Toys for Tots.
Mhm.
We service the community. Last year we serviced our community, 2 hospitals and two middle schools. So this is what we do.
And the show.
And a shelter, excuse me. So this is what we've done since 2017.
And I'll just add on, like, I'm younger than Buddha, right? But we're both from Parkside, different generations. And I grew up with Buddha and them throwing us the basketball tournaments, right?
I do it from
So I want to put it into
Right.
context, like why we're this really, like, I grew up in Parkside and they were the ones throwing basketball tournaments and barbecues and Father's Day, but like they were doing that when I grew up.
Right.
So when I to myself, I grew up, moved
Right.
back here after going away to school and stuff,
Okay.
saw what was going on, and we started to put 2 and 2 together, which is kind of what led us here now.
Yeah, this is where we at right now.
Yeah, I just wanted to add that little bit of
Yeah,
context.
and that's super important because there was obviously an influence that you had, right?
And which is why we like I said, Saturday we had 300 people online, and what I was telling the people on the line, talk to your neighbors. This isn't about getting a turkey.
Yeah,
This is about meeting each other.
yeah.
You know, like that was part of it. It's not just about come and get something for free.
Right.
It's coming and get to know, building a community.
Right.
I grew up in a community where people were outside doing these things for us. So now we have to be outside doing these things for people to get our community. And like I was saying to you before, we can't come beg for resources if we're not there doing stuff as well.
Mhm.
Now we can come be like, yo, we've done this, we've done that, we've done this. Can you come help us?
Mm-hmm.
That's where We Rise as One is today.
Right.
Because we're, like we said, we're gonna give out the turkeys. We're gonna give out toys and
Right.
coats. It's gonna happen, you know.
Right.
Now,
So
how can
Mitch,
we do
I'm
it?
sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was gonna say, can we scale everything up, right?
Uh-huh.
And serve more members of our community? And we don't want to just serve Parkside and Zims, right? Like if we can bring our expertise and our connections to other parts of the district that need it, we're not gatekeepers and we're not, shy about that. Like not at all. Like it's about building our foundation so we can build a bigger foundation in the Bronx. If the Bronx is better, then we all better, right?
Right. No, absolutely. So I was gonna say, because I know you started as I Am Parkside.
Yes.
And then that evolved into We Rise as One.
Yes.
What was the impetus? What was the impetus? What was the reason that you felt like you needed to, start this community-based organization outside of just the basketball tournaments? You probably saw something in the community that I don't want to speak for you, so.
Mhm. It was the lack of resources. We don't have a great voter outcome on our side, so we're not getting funding. No one's coming to make sure we're okay. But being like at the forefront and seeing different demographics of age demographics, I'm able to connect with different people so I can kind of talk and just talk with people. You hear different problems and situations. And Doug and I was talking one day, and we're more than just I Am Parkside, which that is a staple as always, but collectively, I want people to understand we only gonna win if we all stick together.
Right.
This becomes the origin of the name. We rise as one.
Mhm,
United we stand, together we rise.
mhm.
So this is how it all came into just the same place it all started, right on the park bench, just talking, me and Doug. And then we won Paul and James, and this what we're doing, and everything kind of went right to play.
Mm.
And to the point, the way things are traditionally done are people getting together and coming to these meetings, right? But if
Right.
you're from an area that's not part of that cycle,
Mhm.
you don't know to do that.
Right.
And that's another thing that I personally want to like get into, like Malcolm and I speak often, right? Because it's a thing that we're trying to figure out.
Mhm.
There are parts, and it's not just this community board, it's the city. I do this for a living. There are parts that know stuff and there are big parts that don't.
Mhm.
And that's another connection that we're trying, like, all you have to do is have a monthly meeting and take notes and give them pretty much, like, but we just want to feed people. Like, we want to make sure people aren't, like, to us, the priority is making their lives easier. And the civic meetings, I know they're valuable, but
Right. Right.
that's not where our part of the community board Parkside is the poorest part, right?
Right.
We have a different challenge than other people in the community board.
Right.
Where we're focused on is making sure they don't have to make these decisions that jeopardize the community, right? Like that's kind of where we're at with it. Like we're helping them now, it helps everybody else later.
Right.
Makes sense. On fire, right?
And so when you speak about challenges, what are those challenges that your community faces? I mean, I know some of these questions sound like,
No,
but I'm asking these questions
so they can be on
purposefully,
record. Yes.
intentionally, and specifically.
Well, as you should, so, within the project itself, lighting was it was a safety issue for a long amount of time. The park itself is not functioning at all. Last time our park got done over was 92 or 93, if I'm not mistaken. So you have a large park that's barely being used. So no resources going there. There's no place for the kids or even the demographic age after that to even congregate and get into things. Because the park is not done over, you can't do nothing effectively within the park. So now the kids navigate from the projects down to Zimmerman. So now you have an influx of a lot of people in a small area with only one basketball court, which causes a whole different type of problem. So now if you're not into sports, you're sitting around with free time in your hand in an empty park. There's room for error. We have no place we're looking to implement after school programs and different programs we can, we've done or we can implement. We have no place that we can congregate and put the plays into play. So there's a lot of things on that behalf. And again, because what you see as We Rise as One, that's all you see. We don't veer out to too many people. I don't believe in really relying on people. I never would. It's gonna get done with us. And that's it. If someone joins on, I'm more than, I'm appreciative and I understand that, but I'm never become dependent on no man or woman. So we'll take a step forward. If someone joins us, we'll do it to our best ability. So it's a lot of little things we would love to implement, even access to schools to run basketball tournaments for the boys and girls, flag football, tutoring. It's a lot of different things I would love to implement within our community because like I said, I speak to the kids, to the parents, but we don't have no space. So it's a hard ticket to sell.
And I'm gonna just add on real quick that I know it's not this community board, but like Eastchester, Edenwald, Baychester, they have community centers inside of the NYCHA complexes, right? Yeah, like, and that's a big, and we Eastchester's not far from Parkside. We know like those communities have places for the kids and programs inside of them. It's not just an empty building, right? Like, and that's the only thing I wanted to bring up. Like when I grew up in Parkside, I used to go to the center as a kid. You know what I mean? Not as an 8-year-old. I mean, as a 14-year-old.
Right.
Like we had a community center we could go play pool and learn how to play the guitar.
Right.
And we'd like tumble and do flips and stuff like that,
Right.
right? Like just be kids.
Right.
And idle time is the devil's playground.
Oh,
That
yes.
park is empty. It's not just that the park hasn't been redone since 1992. There's nothing for kids to go inside of the park and do. So now the park is filled with, unfortunately, people who are doing things none of us want them to do. Especially inside of a park.
Yeah.
Like because the park is empty.
How many kids would you say are live at Parkside?
There at Parkside, the complex has 927 doors.
Yes.
I can tell you that. I know. And we Saturday we gave the turkeys out. It's not just adults on the line. Like the park was full of kids playing while parents were on the line.
Right.
No, and to his point, the kids have to go to Zims. They're doing a decent job with Bronx Park East and building that up. It's not where it needs to be yet.
Right.
But like as far as when I grew up there, that's a far cry from back then. But the kids can't go play in there yet. It's not a place ready for them, right?
Right.
They don't have anywhere to go. When you kids don't have anything to do or anywhere to go, that's another challenge that we have to overcome.
Right.
I'll leave it at that, right?
Absolutely.
Christine?
First of all, I want to say hi to everyone who came from Parkside. Nice to see you guys again, Buddha. Great to see you. And I apologize for not being there in person, but I have to do all the pre-Thanksgiving preparation. So
It's understandable.
Blame Malcolm.
You can thank Malcolm.
Blame Malcolm. We discussed it. Blame Malcolm.
This guy right here.
So,
Sorry.
I think my question was similar to the one that Serena made, which was like, what are the biggest issues impacting Parkside? And I have like some thoughts that I want to share with you guys. But first, I want to hear, is it economics? Is it like, food insecurity, things like that,
Well, it's the part of the community where a lot of the Section 8 vouchers are being received, right? It's a part of the community where there's a shelter on Bronx Park East. It's not necessarily, and I'm not saying these people are, but when they're not employed and they have a lot more free time and nothing to do, which is the point that we're trying to I'm not saying you need to have a 9 to 5, but we need to give people something to look forward to.
Yeah.
And on our side, it's not necessary. There isn't anything necessarily. And to me, it's not an overnight fix, but if we can get a community center put in Parkside, I think that would be a huge step and doing the things we want to achieve and
Right.
being able to not just, basketball but
Right.
programming and tutoring and like we feel, but that's not a tomorrow thing.
Right.
And everybody I'm aware of that, of course, but
Right.
it's opportunity, I guess, would answer your question. We have a lack of opportunity. There's not a lot of jobs. There's not a bid. Allerton doesn't have a BID, right? Like there's no bid on Allerton, like there are on Pelham Parkway or Gun Hill, right? So even to that extent, right, there's no business developing for young kids in the neighborhood to go get a job on the block, on the avenue, right? Like, so even like when I grew up, people had jobs at the dry cleaners. That dry cleaner is a liquor store now. It is, you figure things evolve, but opportunity is what we need, what is really lacking, so that we can get. We don't blame people on our side. We pull them up, right? That's how we. So it's not like
Right.
something's wrong. What's wrong is we can't give you an opportunity to put yourself in position. So they need opportunity to thrive, not survive, right? Like, so we need to put people in we're from there. Parkside doesn't have that Zims, the Hoops, if you're familiar with any of our.
Absolutely right. I used to live over on Holland and Arnold.
Yeah.
I used to live right there, and I used to go jogging, and I used to always notice the difference over the train line.
To the point, I ride my bike. I have a bike. I'm one of those crazy people on a bike, right? There are bike lanes that go from 241st and they end at about Burke. And then they
Right.
pick up at Pelham Parkway again. And where's the in between? It's where we live.
Exactly.
So it's I'm not saying it's purposeful, but it's happened and it's going to be addressed now that we are all here
Right.
having these conversations.
There's a huge plot of land right across the streets, empty.
Yeah.
That's good to talk.
Yeah, like I wasn't gonna get to that point, but we know where we want these things to happen. Yeah.
Exactly. And this is the perfect, this is the perfect forum and the perfect space and place to talk about those things, right? I'm trying to find the perfect word, but what I appreciate, right? And I don't know if that's the right word, is that what I'm hearing is we're not going to talk about the things like the social drivers of health that are keeping us from being successful. We're not as a community, we're not going to really highlight the fact that we don't have the economic resources, that we are lacking resources in programming, in education, in infrastructure, in environmental safety. No, we're not going to do that because, and I don't know if this is the reason why, and I don't know if it's appreciate the word, but I will say, I know that we're in order for things to happen, I'm a person that if I feel, and I'm guilty of delegating, right? Because I feel like if I delegate, it may not be done right? But I also have to trust in knowing that if I delegate, it's gonna be, trust in what I'm. So I am saying that I appreciate that you're going. We're gonna take on this whole thing by ourselves, but you cannot do that. Right, even though you have done this since 2017 to 2007, And then at 2017, we won.
We changed the name.
Right, that was it. And we're here 2023, a staple in the community members, all of that. But I feel like it's important to just, say what it is that the community is lacking, because that's just what it is. Like, it's lacking programming for our children. You have 927 doors, which you just met, I think was what you just said. I don't know how many children in the community do not have a playground to play in. And therefore, if they don't have a playground, and then there won't be no programs in the playground, which leads me to, what about your basketball tournament? Are you still having that, and where are you having that?
So we have it in the Zimmerman Park, which is, so Parkside and Zimmerman are a block and a half away from one another, and it's both of it we consider our home turf. So
Okay,
even when we do our mutual aid, we alternate parks. We do one in Zimmerman and then we do one in Parkside on purpose, because it's just a block and a half away.
okay.
It's
So you're
about,
still able to use that one basketball?
yeah, and we've been, since 2 summers ago, we've been in these type of process. Oswald Felice was the city council member over there, then we got redistricted now,
Right.
whichever. But Zimmerman Park is going to be redone.
Mhm.
We were the ones that kind of got that going, and it's because of our and we sold it as, if you fix this park, we can throw a big time basketball tournament. It's not just me playing at St. Raymond's back in town. No, we are connected to basketball. Like, our basketball team we bring to Puerto Rico is a grassroots team that competes around the city all summer.
Yes.
Like we have real basketball connections in the city.
Okay,
So we pitched it as we can bring real talent up here to play.
Right.
That's what our tournament is. It's not, we get chided a little bit because it's not a neighborhood tournament. Like, the kids in the neighborhood don't play in our basketball tournament. We bring teams from around the city, and y'all come and watch top tier talent.
kind of like the,
Like, it's like Watson, if you're familiar with the
Yeah.
Stanford Bronx and stuff like that. Don't do that. It's what, yeah, we are modeling after what
Okay.
Watson does.
Okay.
basically. So we don't necessarily throw a community tournament, which Diana Finch on the line right now gives me a hard time about, but we have a different niche, and it brings a lot of community out,
okay.
because people want to see the best talent, obviously. Like, of course you want to see your neighbor's kids play, but if this kid might be on ESPN in 3 years, you might want to watch him play in our park as well, right?
Right, exactly. You're gonna support them. I mean, it's okay.
And we give away the food and drinks for free.
Oh, yeah. So,
The whole time.
oh, yeah, we're
They
barbecuing.
don't
We bring the grill out. We have the 10-foot grill.
Really?
Since day one.
Gatorades for the kids who are playing. So we actually have tents. So Parkside, one thing that we did speak about, there are no trees. So when you do play basketball on Parkside, you're in the Sahara Desert. Yeah, it's a thing. I grew up there. It's a thing. We bring tents out for the players when they sit under the tent.
Benches, everything.
Benches and tents for, yeah.
And benches too.
Like, I played for real basketball. So, when if we're gonna have a tournament, it's gonna be that.
Yeah, and you'll never see a tournament give out Gatorade the whole tournament.
Yeah,
for free.
that's
You'll never see people get food and fed. You'll never see that.
Right. Community building.
And
I would-
clothing,
yeah.
t-shirts.
Oh, yeah, the
Everything.
jersey. Yeah.
You guys usually fund that.
We put it together.
You have
don't have endorsements?
No, we put a GoFundMe together.
Imagine what we could do.
Yeah. We put GoFundMe's together. We have certain businesses and certain people who we've been doing this for years now. That they respond and respect what we're doing, and they definitely help us out. Even though when we're doing this, the local bodegas come and bring out boxes of fruits and stuff. So like the community gets it together. And now, like, to the big point, I'm happy that we're here. Like, the community did this, and now the community board can partner with the community, and we can scale everything up to a
Do you have a strong relationship with like the economics? Like you just said the bodegas, the economic centers of that side of the community?
So not organized, right? Like a relationship as we're from there.
Right.
That's where I go get my bacon, egg, and cheese, right?
That's the strength for that.
Yeah, like
So
we're,
the core of the community with us, talk with the people within the community, because we engage these people like on a daily basis.
Okay.
so it's not us organizing them to do anything, but it's just that they've known me for 30 years because I'm from there. You know, and they know Buddha for longer and they ran the store. Now their kids are running the store. Like, it's not like they sold the store. No, the stores in our neighborhood are the same family since
Right.
I've been there. So we do have not
It's
every
easy
store.
to take care of each other.
We're trying to scale that, like I keep
Well,
saying.
now they're getting on board now because they see that it wasn't a fluke. You know, of course, the first time it's cool, but now
Proof is in the
when
pudding.
you see it, you
Mhm.
know, then you realize that somebody stop asking you questions, start stopping asking, you're gonna realize that, wait, you don't need me no more.
Mhm.
Now you're gonna volunteer your services.
Mhm.
So now it's, hey, what can I do to help you guys? Well, you know what? I need ice.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You know, I need things like
Cups,
that.
yeah.
Like this, like
We're not
little
asking
small
much.
things, you know, we're never gonna ask for too much. Because again, we've been in this space so long of, we're not gonna depend on nobody. We're just not gonna depend on nobody.
Right.
Because once I view towards somebody and you tell me something, this for everybody. You tell me something and you don't stick to it, congratulations. Doesn't matter. So I kind of keep it simple. You know, they get on me about it all the time.
Yeah, that's why I'm
I
laughing.
just.
Yeah, I
that's
knew
the
it was
way I am.
coming.
I'm a man of my word. If I said I'm gonna do it, I'm doing it. It's gonna get done. So I respect people like that on that half.
You know, you guys, it sounds like you have a brand like Watson. It sounds like Hoops and Sun.
And our boys
kids
playing
play.
those, our
Right.
kids playing both of them. That's why, like, yeah, that's what.
Hoops in the sun.
And we know the Watson people, like people who throw Watson. We know the Hoops in the Sun.
Me,
Like we know,
Billy, all
yeah.
of them. Those are my
We like we
personal
know them
friends.
as well. Like it's not like someone we throw. Like they call us and say, "Hey, we need New Jack Elite to come play in this tournament real quick. We have a winter tournament. Come play for a weekend." And our boys go play. Like we have that's what's like as far as basketball, we have a lot of, and we want to bring our part of it. We want North Bronx to have a tournament like the South Bronx, right?
And we need one.
And that's it's a community thing. Like I said, I
It
grew up
sounds like
through.
you have a really good grassroots brand. So
Yes.
Like I said, the boys have been, and I go to Puerto Rico with them, so I'm
Yeah,
biased.
here
Like,
you go.
I go to Puerto Rico, yeah, I go to like we go to Puerto Rico. I lose my voice yelling like it's a AAU grassroots teams from all over the country, and to that point, we bring them to Puerto Rico because we want to expose them. We know people who play pro ball out there, so we bring them to their houses to where they practice. Because we want to like it's not the NBA, it's not the end of the world. And what we to our kids, y'all are here to get a college scholarship. Y'all, we doing this so y'all go to college for free.
Right.
There's no qualms about it.
Yeah.
We putting y'all through this so y'all go to college.
Right.
That's why we doing all of this for y'all. This ain't none of that other. Y'all are here so y'all can get educations for free, and then be able to take over the world.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? And that's what our goal. And then, but we also told them, and then you can go to college and then have a full career in Puerto Rico
Mhm.
playing basketball. It's not the NBA. It's not that I lived overseas. Like you can go overseas and live a great life. And it's someone like the NBA, like isn't the end. You need to fight through college,
Right.
get that degree, because
Right.
that is what's really important.
Right.
Well, even not more than, excuse me, even more than even basketball, you know, once you change somebody's vision,
Perspective.
I mean, perspective, they look at things differently.
Yeah.
So if you only seen a kid who knows about Bronx and Harlem, you take them out the country or you take them to Puerto Rico, or take them to different places, their mind now start to expand. So now they excited to go do something else. And this gets them thinking on the bigger scale. So they're
Mhm.
thinking of local.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna be this and that. So it's a combination of great things, but we taking steps forward.
Yeah.
That's what we doing.
And the chat was lit. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll get to that in a second.
Mhm.
I'm gonna have her ask those questions and stuff. Christine?
Hi, again, I'm sorry. I have a lot of questions for you guys, so I hope
Bro, we
Just-
have
Something.
things to share, by the way, right? More than questions. But I really wanted to know what the structure of your organization looks like who is leadership and stuff like that. And then I just wanted to share, I really respect that you guys are really pushing for, children, young people at Parkside to go to college. But also there are other, options besides college, right?
Right.
And learning a trade is something that also is important. And I don't know that if anybody knows this from Parkside, but I'm a member of Labor's Local 79. And I have very good relationships with people who run a not-for-profit pre-apprenticeship program called Pathways to Apprenticeship. And right now, they are currently doing recruitments for NYCHA residents.
let us know. I'm
Please.
sorry. Listen, Christine, I've been on mad picket lines. I'm union strong. Trust me, I'm all about it. Let me know.
Yeah, that is where I want. I was just sending the director a text message to see if he can get on here quickly, but he might be busy, with the holidays and all of that. But this is where I think that, a connection like this could be, really important. See if we can get something going like an info session.
Program like you are the college was for our for our players. trades is a whole nother thing that we want to start getting kids into, because like college isn't for everybody. I understand that, you know what I mean? Like I'm all about getting the youth into union jobs and trade jobs and stuff young. I'm all about that.
Yeah. Well, there's going to be, I think, a heavy investment in NYCHA, right, to restore some of the buildings and stuff like that. It only makes sense that, you know, people who are residents on the lease of NYCHA also have, you know, opportunities to get those jobs, right? Local hire to be, you know, yeah, placed on these developments.
Hey,
So we definitely, and I don't know who to, you know, direct, you know, or share the information with. If the three of you are leadership there, and I can equally reach out to any one of you, you tell me what that looks like.
Christine, I think you should, and I think maybe it might benefit, because it's open to everyone, right? This pathway, so you might want to put, no, it's not?
Like
No,
your
not,
resident.
not at the moment, not at the
Not
moment.
at, I mean, I know exactly, well, okay, so, gotcha.
I think,
Got it.
I think for that would be a good idea to organize with you guys, organize with Eastchester Gardens and Pelham houses
Mm-hmm.
to maybe create a big event.
Yeah, I was
Or,
thinking that.
or we do intimately and have those conversations together.
Like one of the schools or something, like
Yeah.
central. Yeah,
Exactly.
that's a good idea.
Kay Cardona, I know you have a lot to say and it looks great. I'll, you know, we'll open it up to allow you to speak if you'd like to.
Like, hey,
Okay. Yes, train, okay.
yeah, I look like comments
Oh,
more than a
train.
question.
Oh, she said yes, training young residents. No,
Yeah,
train.
I'm
Okay.
sorry.
It's
I'm
fine.
sorry. I always type too much in these meetings. I'm sorry.
I understand. You're very passionate.
Yeah, no, these issues are very close to my heart. Growing up, I had no parents. When my grandmother died, I think I was 14 or 15, and I wound up in the street. Then I wound up getting in trouble, and I wound up in foster care. So there were a couple of times I lived in NYCHA complexes. One was the Marble Hill houses for about 3 months, and another time it was in Given Avenue or something, somewhere near like Baychester Avenue, a complex there for a few months. And the families I stood with were like either Hispanic or people of color. And I'm a fair skinned person. So the families were good to me. It's some people were kind to me and other people were, so I kind of got an education and they would let me know point blank what life was like, to be a person of color. And so I learned this at a very young age. So yeah, this is a very passionate issue to me, human rights and everybody being treated equally and having opportunities. And it drives me nuts how, okay, I understand NYCHA is a federal program basically, but since these complexes are situated in cities like New York, I don't understand why the states themselves or the cities themselves are not or have not been more active in helping these complexes, in terms of renovations and helping people and not treating them like they're like on a different level in life than the rest of us is just so unfair. This has always gnawed at me since I was a teenager and I'm in my 60s now.
Oh, wow.
And I know I'm hype up Kay a little bit because she may think I don't see, but I see. But Kay is a housing advocate in the
Yes, I
community.
am.
I was gonna rep,
Yes,
so I was
I am.
gonna reference something you said in the chat. For a living, I'm an advocate, so I actually do this stuff. And one of the fights that I'm fighting now is the Rad Pack Section 8, Section 9 stuff, and I see you cite it in the chat. And I know
Yeah.
for a fact, Parkside is not even close to being on that list for that anytime soon, but
Thank
trust me,
goodness.
I've been to Nostrand projects in Brooklyn, door knocking,
Yes.
doing know your rights, and we've done know your rights trainings with Legal Aid Society. I'm in the mix of the whole night. I'm well aware of what's going on with that. We can have a side conversation of why. That's not for now, but it's a thing. Yes, it's a thing, Kay, and I'm glad to know somebody like you is not just aware but fighting. So thank you.
It's frightening.
Yeah.
It's absolutely frightening to think that people will be displaced, thinking that they're going to be coming back into their homes.
It's
And some of
literally-
these, you have your Trumps and people out there that this
Yeah.
is their thing. Once they take over something like that, they'll convert it into condos or something. And all the like yuppie hipster type people, this will be the next big thing for them. You know, I'm very anti-gentrification. I always have been. So this frightens me that people are going to be not only disenfranchised, but be permanently displaced and possibly homeless. It's just frightening.
There's a lot of elders that it's happening to that
What's-
people don't realize.
Thank you. Yes, because I'm a senior citizen myself, so.
A lot of elders that don't have resources to do any, to fight it or go anywhere else, and they're just accepting what they're being told, and
Right.
it's a negative situation. But we're getting sidetracked. I'm sorry. I feel like I sidetracked the
They're
beginning of
not-
that.
It's important.
They're not people that should end up in the shelter system.
Yeah.
Or they'll end up in nursing homes when they have quality of life. I know because I'm a home health care aide. I also have people in nursing homes that I take care of. So I just don't want to see anyone. And then young families, it's just, you know. Anyway, I'll shut up now.
Oh,
You speak
Good.
the
Yeah,
truth,
yeah. Thank you. Yeah.
because it happened to me. Like it happened, like,
And there's a baby.
hey, come, we're gonna redo your building and do this. That's how I ended up in Parkside.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what you
Because
did.
when it's finished,
Right.
now you can't get back in because now they're asking for
right,
this.
right.
And the hustle now is you can definitely come back in, but you only have a 10-year lease. Or the building only has to keep your rent at that rate for 10 years.
Mhm.
And then they can become capitalists and do whatever
Right.
they want.
Also, it becomes
Right.
privatized.
No, that's what's happening. The buildings are, project buildings are becoming privatized. And the people have to keep it at an affordable rate for 10, 15, 20 years.
Right.
But then
It kicks in.
they can do whatever they want.
Well, 2 buildings in Parkside already sold.
Yeah, they did it slowly.
I
Yeah,
know that for a fact.
yeah,
I knew that years ago.
yeah. And I learned it because my voting center changed.
Yeah.
They sold the building that was the Parkside voting center, so now we got to go to another building
Yeah,
to go vote.
It's already-
That's when I learned that the building I
Yeah,
sold
2 buildings already sold already.
on the bottom facing the Bronx Park East.
Yeah, the buildings are sold already.
Can you send us the addresses of those? Or
I
what they have
I'll
it?
tell you which one. No, they're still the same.
They're still the same thing.
But,
Hold on to it.
But so,
But so then now they do renovations to those buildings and not any of the other buildings. So now the rest of the people see those buildings and go, hey, I want you to buy my building too.
right,
Right.
right. There seems to be a lot of, there's a lot of education that has to be, disseminating of information
Mhm.
that has to be done, right?
Oh, yeah, I call it. Yeah.
I have just a couple of questions. In terms of, I believe Christine mentioned like leadership.
I was gonna answer that. Yeah.
Your 501c.
Three.
Three,
Which is
right.
important.
Yeah, 501c. I don't want. And
C
so.
fours do different things.
Yes, I should have, okay. So is your board
So
active?
I was gonna explain. So Buddha is the executive director of it.
Okay,
Me and Doug are deputy directors.
okay,
And then we have a board
Yes.
who we answer to.
okay,
I know exactly what that means.
Yeah, but they are people who trust us and like, it's not like we went looking for a board.
Mhm.
No, it's people who've been supporting us the whole
Yes.
time, so it's not like it's
Mhm.
strangers or people who,
Are there trustees?
not yet, no,
Okay.
no. We ain't got no money.
My cousin's actually on the board.
Yeah, so
my
we
cousin's
brought,
board.
yeah.
Okay. So, do yours, how often does, well, no, I don't want to sidetrack. The teams, basketball, is it just boys?
We do boys and girls, but we haven't had a large output of for girls. So we had to really stop that for like the last 2 years,
Yeah.
3 years.
But what we did do is have skills training for the
Yeah.
girls.
We had
Well, I guess everybody, but we wanted it for the little girls.
Yeah.
All the little kids came to like skills training in the park. So before the tournament, for an hour, we do like skills training, so little
Okay.
kids can, but it was supposed to be.
Like basketball.
Yeah,
skills.
like,
Okay.
basketball, skills,
Okay.
shooting and dribbling. It
Okay,
was supposed to be for the little girls, but it's for everybody.
it's for everybody.
Yeah, all the kids come down. Yeah.
When is the next tournament?
We have literally had to talk over on Sunday about it. It's gonna be in the summertime.
It's gonna be in the
Yeah,
summer.
the summertime.
How does I just don't wanna forget, how do youth sign up?
They don't.
They don't,
No, they just
they
come.
just show up.
They just come. No, remember I was saying, so this tournament, we bring teams from all around the
Yeah.
city to play in this tournament.
Like AU teams.
Yeah.
Ah,
So we bring like good teams from around the city
ah.
to come, and Mount Vernon and Yonkers. I don't want to leave them out because
Yes.
we have good connections up there. I don't want to leave our
You
people
did
up there.
say that. You
Yeah,
did
so
say
our
that.
tournament is one of, so it's something that gets the community excited because they get to see.
Because they're coming. and
They
you
get to see these kids who are going to be going away to college
Okay.
in a year or two, like,
Okay.
and that's kind of because that's the world we live in.
Okay.
Like
Okay.
we live in that type of basketball world where we're promoting these kids and our kids. My
Yes.
nephews are now in 8th and 9th grade, like coming up, like
Okay.
we've been in this world. So like I said, we don't throw a necessarily neighborhood tournament. We throw a tournament in the neighborhood.
Okay.
So
Got it.
I know you guys spoke about the maybe
see.
for college, like
Mm.
how are you guys doing with SAT prep, ACT?
They, like I said, the kids, so our team are the 8th and 9th graders.
Oh,
So they're not
There,
that
yeah,
young.
okay.
Yeah. My nephew, we created this team for my nephews. Years ago, because they were training and we were making contacts
They
and
wanted to be
connections
better
with
and grow.
parents and other, like, for other players, and it was like, why are we bringing all of our kids to here where nobody likes the coach and my
Right.
cousin is the coach, right? Like, we grew up in basketball. Why do this stuff with other people? To what you might have heard us say all the time. Why do it with other people when we can do it ourselves?
Right.
So it's clever. You brought the tournament.
Yeah.
And no, because we bring our kids to these tournaments.
Right.
Right.
But
Exactly.
then, does the teams pay a fee to cover the costs for your
Uniforms,
referees,
the-
Uniform ref fee.
Yeah.
trophies?
But yeah,
but-
no, well, not really trophies, we take care of that part of it,
Yeah.
but, just to cover the overhead for your team.
Yeah.
And
Ref
everything
fees,
else, yeah, referees,
definitely.
but only referees and
Mhm.
small stuff like that.
Right.
The drinks, the beverages, the drinks, the food and anything else, that's what we take care of.
Yeah.
We give them, like I said, each team get, extra warm-up t-shirts, you get stuff throughout the tournament.
Right.
Every team, every player, coaches, so it's 12 players and 3 coaches, so it'll be y'all 3 and 12 kids. They'll get your packages, and you guys are good.
And jerseys and shorts. We're not talking about t-shirts.
Tops and bottoms,
Yeah.
so-
Giving out uniforms. Every team has a uniform.
Mhm.
You're like, we design the uniforms. It's a thing. No, because we want to make it. This we don't want to. This is a thing that we're just building up. And in 3-5 years, especially after we get the new, and that's the thing, we're gonna get this new park.
Mhm.
So we want to when that happens, we want this to be
We're
Yeah.
supposed to be.
yeah. By the time we get this
Right.
park in Sims,
I can hear Rutger already.
yeah, like
Right,
this is
right,
a
right.
this is
Yeah, the
Yeah.
level of basketball, the
Yeah.
community and more involved.
Yeah, like we-
You'll see it, you'll see the rising of everywhere.
we're thinking 5, 7, 10 years, like
Mhm.
what Parkside and Sims would look like in 10 years from now. It's not
Mhm.
about this summer, next summer. Like I'm 41, I know, but I'm from there. I've been there pretty much my whole life, moving back and forth, but we not going nowhere. Like we
Right.
from here. Like this is
Right.
where this
Right.
is what we know. Like
Right. Right. I wanted to share before I forget or ask more than anything. You must have really good relationships with the schools in your
I mean, what do you mean good relationship?
Yeah.
like
I don't want to say anything negative.
It's a tricky question.
Yeah.
Well, matter of fact, we once did, but now schools, most of the schools are now charter schools.
Mhm.
So it's no longer like PS 135. It's
Right.
whatever academy school. So you have maybe 3 or 4
Oh,
schools
yeah.
within.
We went to 135, but
So
it's not
not the same
135
thing.
no more.
Right.
It's
Not-
Broad
not-
Street
not when we grew up.
Regional.
Right.
Yeah. So it's
So
a
4 schools in one
Yeah,
building
well,
or
it's a different type of-
something like
it's
that.
a different type of situation.
I'm interested because I know we always discuss that, right? Like the schools, public schools turning to charter schools.
Mhm.
Like how is that affecting kids
Well,
from their perspective?
Well, with that being said, because the schools are broken down, we don't have access to gym. Let's say we need a gym.
Mhm.
We can rent a gym for kids, the boys, whatever we do.
Mhm.
You can't use that because 4 schools now forced into one gym. So that means no one else can come inside there. We don't have, it's not that many schools really within our dynamic.
I was gonna bring that. to you.
PS 96, 135, Columbus.
Mm-hmm.
They've already spoken for. Columbus is you know, one of them schools already, charter school type of setup already. So it's not, so we have no place for the kids to play. Now we talk about play, we can do basketball, flag football, we can do lacrosse.
Mm-hmm.
So some we're working on soccer, we're working on soccer.
Soccer, too.
Because we got the new soccer field over there, so we're
It's
gonna.
a lot of things
work
that
on
be
soccer.
implemented throughout the winter season, but without no place to do it, you can't. So that means you're never gonna, these kids never have access to this stuff.
Right.
So you're now gonna get discouraged. And now everybody thinks I have to play basketball, which is not.
Right.
Which is not.
I mean, that's not really what it is.
Right.
I was the first black lacrosse coach in Harlem.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
FDR,
Yeah.
yeah.
And FDA.
FDA,
Yeah.
yeah.
FDA Academy. Yeah, that was me. That was me.
I'm all about
Yeah.
young black kids playing
Yeah,
lacrosse.
yeah.
I ain't gonna lie. It's
Yeah.
about to, and to say it like this, it's about getting scholarships to college.
Yeah.
And
And-
they got 50 scholarships for that lacrosse team. Y'all gotta go get some of them.
And that was my self pitch to all the parents. I said, hey, listen, we are natural athletes. We can run, we can catch. They're giving away these scholarship at a fast pace.
Yes.
I can teach you guys how to play lacrosse in a half an hour, an hour the longest.
YouTube got
So
it.
everybody's like, yeah, cool. I'm like, all right, do me a favor. Go look at this on YouTube. Come tomorrow. And if you guys don't get it, don't worry about it. You know, we get it. The kids came, they was prepared. And our developmental year was 7 games. I got 3 kids scholarships.
Wow.
The first year, developmental, they got 3 scholarships. So I felt like seeing my kid, I'm all shivering, I'm all excited, but it's they're giving them away. So it's we have to look beyond basketball.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that's
Of course. Yeah.
that's a 1 in a million shot. There's other ways to get to
Right.
college.
1 in every million.
Yeah.
We get to make it to the.
We got to look past that. It's
I
not
know these numbers.
it's not so much about, you know, like the NBA, the pros, this and that. It's the educational experience.
Opportunity.
Because what if you're a designer
Yeah.
Right.
and you need to learn Photoshop,
Right.
Yeah.
but you don't have an Apple product?
You have a computer that can handle it.
Right.
Why can't we be the ones to offer that?
Right. Exactly.
I heard him say, what about preparing for SAT?
Mm-hmm.
Why can't we have a place that prepares people for that?
And a place is a big hindrance, which is why you asked the challenge, a physical brick and mortar
Yeah.
place where we can actually do things.
Right.
You know, like
Right.
we can make a big stew if we have a kitchen,
So
but we
you
outside.
tolerate we rise as one without a brick and mortar.
Yes,
Yeah.
we do things outside. Once a year for Christmas for the toys, we've built a relationship enough with and to be able to do it.
They
in
let
the
me use
park
they
side.
let us use it for about 4 hours.
Yeah,
Maybe 3 the most.
in the park side,
Other than that, everything is you know within the streets. You know,
in the parks, in Zimmerman Park or
Mhm.
and Malcolm's been to both parks and he's seen us doing it.
Mhm.
But that's why we do them outside. That's why we don't necessarily do a lot of stuff January through May or April because it's cold outside.
Yeah.
And we're not having people line up in the cold. Like it kind of hinders what we can also do as us
Right.
because we have to take the winter off because we don't want to be in the cold and we don't want them in the cold.
Well, really, as in within the community, during those months, we started. I want to say about 4 years, maybe 5 years. Adopt a shelter program.
Yeah, we do
We
this.
go to shelters.
Yeah.
We give them clothes, you know, things, personal items, little
Hygiene.
moves,
Yeah.
you know, stuff like that, just to keep the human interaction part of it. I don't want you to think that you're not human because you're in this
Yeah,
type of
yeah.
place.
Yeah.
That's something we do. We talk to them for a quick little couple of minutes if possible. So, really from December to like December,
Like April.
yeah, April, that's when we kind of do
That's
that.
where
And then now we transition to the warmer weather. Now we
Yeah.
back outside. We did a mental health day. We gave away bikes, helmets. We had people from clinics come outside. We gave testing on blood pressure. This is something we've always done.
Mm-hmm.
But again, just with the lack of capital,
Mhm.
we can only do with so much.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, but it gets done.
Actually, Cynthia, are you online? Cindy,
Mhm.
She might-
Shoot, sorry, I couldn't get the button. Hi, guys.
it's fine.
Good evening.
What is it called? The House Service Committee?
Mhm.
The Health Services Committee. You guys are planning the health fair this year, right?
Yes, it's supposed to be in June, I believe.
Okay. So we
So
can
we
get you
can
guys
reach out,
contact
yeah.
in
That'd be
that
beautiful.
committee.
Yeah.
Do you know when, where? That's not when, but where that may be?
I'm not sure. I think Sandy spoke with Bronx House sometime in June.
Okay.
But
I'm
we
not,
even like
you know,
even
I'm not sure how set in stone that is.
these things, like we can send emails, blast to our,
Yeah.
like if we know the community board is doing something that we should, you can send it to us and we can blast it to our people,
Yeah.
but that's something we're doing is building the ability
Right.
to contact them with phone numbers and emails and stuff.
Right.
Because the way I see it, this is your community board, right?
Yeah.
And you know, there's no gatekeeping of the resources here. You know, we have to open the doors.
Yeah.
Needs to be a flood. That's how I see it. So anything that you guys need from us,
I guess the question is what immediate things could we get from y'all? Like what are those type of things?
well, we don't have no money.
Oh, yeah, like what are the type of things that we could ask for? I guess is the question.
No, I mean, it's off the board. No, but to be honest, it's the increased advocacy that's there, right? You know, we always get things on the table. Like right now, we're speaking about the city of Yes, right? The city of Yes is the cities. I don't know if you know about it. You know about it. You know, so that we need to have more input from the community as to what this looks like for everyone in the entire district and how can we shape it, or do we want to scratch it entirely, right? We constantly are getting new applications for housing coming to the community, for like developers, stuff like that. And we need your input, right? Because it can't just, we have a very strong homeowner class in this district, right? And they make sure their voices are heard. But lots of times, if we're only getting one perspective, then we're also losing the perspective of those who are living in the developments or those who are renters. And we need to be able to hear those voices so we can come up with an informed, consensus decision as to how best can we move forward and how we can, help develop this community further, right? We need to develop stronger relationships together for our businesses and business owners. As you said, it's about creating jobs and creating opportunities when it comes to our business owners, and that's all part of it. So immediately, it's getting you guys to the table, getting everybody to the table, and having these conversations to be had. From there, in regards to the events that you guys do yearly, you have us there, right? So we can advocate along with you guys, especially with this committee for funding. Maybe we can write a letter to one of our elected officials and say, look, they're doing this work. The community board is seeing that, and how can we get that funding here, right?
Y'all reach out to council members more, elected wise?
Yeah, we do.
The city, not the state. That's more so.
Yeah. We go for the city.
I know the city has just way more money to get.
Yeah, exactly. City, state. Just recently, Serena and I just did. Serena doing this committee just did the what's it called again?
The budgetary priorities.
Budgetary priorities, the distribution report, right? So people in the community gave us what they wanted, right? It's locked, but now we're going to be starting the new cycle very soon to get in to start looking at new proposals, right? And we need you guys to give proposals, right? Because we have billions of dollars out there, regardless of what the mayor says about 5% cuts. We need to make sure.
I know. I know.
We need to make sure that you're being represented, you're being advocated for, and we can put those things on paper and say this is what's needed in that community. Because the way I see it, nobody should be neglected. So we want to open the doors up. We want to get to work. We want to put our knuckles to the dirt and say we gotta do what we gotta do.
I was wondering, ask that question as well. What can we ask for?
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna jump on his bandwagon, and what you're gonna get from us is allyship, period. Okay. And for everyone that's here, this is not gonna be the first time that I hope We Rise as One comes to sit at this table, right? Because there's so much based on this conversation that we're having today that we can seriously segment and address, as it pertains to what you do for the community and what the community needs, right? Maka made mention of the community, the district needs report, just to give you, and you're probably all more than likely very familiar. This is something that happens all across all 59, community boards across this, the city, something that goes in every October. Right now, I welcome you to start I already, know, right? We need this park. right? In my mind's eye, in this committee, we're gonna talk about, all right, how we're gonna advocate for the renovation of this park. You know, who we're gonna go to, we already know, redistrict things, so we know,
And I was,
you know.
I was gonna question that.
Yeah, we know that, that's something that we see, but that doesn't mean that you don't have, you know, like necessary, like allies in us. What exactly it is that you need, we do site visits, we don't have to, you know, but we are open and more than happy to do that.
If you want us to walk you through, give one of us a
No,
call.
no,
We can-
I'm saying like we could reach out to local electeds
Oh,
on,
no,
you
I
know,
think you meant like of our neighborhood. I was like, no, we can walk you to the neighborhood, show you everything you want to see.
No, well, what I meant to say is that we are here, choose us, right, as your community board and committee, and also come to the full board meetings.
Yes.
We need you to come to the full board meetings so that you can then speak to your community and let them know what's going on over at Parkside, right? And then you could also hear what's going on in different areas of, you know, the district. And I think, yeah, that's really what
Do you
what I
guys know
wanted to
Bronx
say.
House? Have you guys been to Bronx House?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm from here.
You guys have a
Yeah.
relationship with?
No, I mean,
I know a relationship with them, but I've been there. I mean, I go all the
I
time.
used to charge us $5 to go play ball when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Well, I was gonna ask Buddha a question for everybody. What would you prefer, Buddha? Redoing Parkside or community center in Parkside? Like if we can ask them to prioritize one of those two.
I would say a community center. That'd be more useful for everyone in the
That's
area.
what I was thinking, but I wanted to see what you.
Everyone's not gonna worry about no basketball, cause
Yeah.
that's not even.
Like the park is dope, but 365,
Yeah.
we can do things in the community
Yes.
center. So it's what I was kind of thinking, like right now, the park, even if the park was redone right now, it's dark at 4 o'clock.
Right.
Yes.
You know, and we'd be in that community center to 9:30.
Right, exactly. But I don't want to give the wrong impression.
Of course not. I just
This
wanted
is
to.
something that you can ask for. We then
Mhm.
have, you know, we're mandated, we put forth, you know, based on what the community is telling us is important. You can ask for both.
Of course.
Right? And then we're at, you know, then we wait and we submit it, and then we wait for, you know, the Office of Budget Management to review it, as you all know. And then we get a preliminary budget in January, then we discuss it, right, amongst our community members. And then from February to June or May, we have to advocate and do some strong advocating for our causes. And we know with this, you know, this what's going on with the budget and the decreases that we are facing and we're about to face, you know, what I want to say is we can ask for it 9 times out of 10. We don't know what that's going to be, but I think asking for it,
Of course.
you know, puts us in
But
the running.
I think you guys think community center will put things in the right direction, right? Because there have been advocacy for a community center in this district, just in general.
Right.
I know Van Ness has asked for it, or is practically asking for it.
Mhm.
So I think what we could do, right? I think that now that we know you guys want for it, we can now put different heads together, right? Put a letter together and address it to our city elected officials. So
Right.
Riley, Chris, you know, Marjorie, Chris Marado, January, however it goes. And we'll say we need the legwork for a community center to happen here. Because you know what?
Yes.
We got a community center over in Wakefield, District 12. Community center over District 9, at Castle Hill. They skipped us entirely.
You know, Diana had a hand.
Diana?
Yes, thank you. Hi, Buddha. Hi, James. Hi, everyone. So I've been listening intently from the point of view of another community organization, which overlaps with you guys. BPECA, Bronx Park East Community Association. And it strikes me that one thing that all the community groups really are in need of, or even people who want to start community groups, don't have a group yet, is a place to meet. Community centers or community rooms. And a lot of the new buildings that are being built have to have a room that can be used by the community. the new building on Thwaites and Boston Road has one, but nobody's really reached out to them or they haven't followed through about it. And the super is using it as a storage room right now. But I think there are a lot of buildings around here that have those rooms that are supposed to be used by the community. And I was wondering if also in terms of the programming, if we could hear from Eastchester Gardens at some point and learn about how they built up their programming. And then when groups are able to have meetings, like monthly meetings, public meetings, I've noticed that that is the way that the elected officials and agencies and everyone from the mayor on down to the local library has a way to connect to the community, to come to the meeting, tell them what they're doing, listen to what the people in the community are saying. And without that, communities and the elected officials and agencies that serve them are really cut off. They don't have a way of communicating with each other. I think that Parkside does have a community center. I mean, BPECA's used it in the past for some meetings, so I don't know why they don't have it more available. And then the last thing is the Adopt a Shelter program. That sounds really great. And it sounds like, with the new shelters coming in to the district, which has never had shelters before and never had experience living with shelters, people could really learn from you as to how to make that kind of connection.
Okay.
So those were my concerns. And Buddha, I didn't know about the lacrosse. I'm a lacrosse player, a former lacrosse player.
Okay.
Diana, which building on Thwaites and Boston Road?
The new building right there on the corner, right? Before
Yeah,
It goes coming down Boston Road.
the new
goes to the
multi-story one that has the pharmacy on the ground floor. On the
Oh,
Right about Grando's supermarket.
they got a laundromat.
It's right there in
I know
the.
talking about.
Right.
A laundromat and a
Apply
drugstore.
for that one.
And a drugstore.
Right.
Makes sense.
Oh, you mean the Allerton? That's what
Yeah.
it's called. It's called the Allerton, but it's not an Allerton. Yeah, that's the name of the building.
Right
The
there,
Allerton.
look at- right.
It's called the Allerton.
Thank you for information, Diana.
Thank you, Diane.
So you guys do have a center in there, or?
Well, that's Montefiore owns that center.
That I think is what got sold with the building
Yeah.
that got built.
Montefiore bought that. Yeah, that's
Monty bought that building.
And the center that come,
I'm not too much sure.
Yeah.
But I know the center's theirs.
because that's where the voting, that's where I used to vote as well. And now I have to vote up the
I'll
hill.
look into that for you.
I got you.
I'll look into that.
Yeah, those are the buildings that got privatized at the bottom of the hill where the center that I used to go to as a kid was.
Yeah, the first one that got sold.
Yeah.
I'll ask some questions.
Rain, I think, they turned into
Turn it into a
Rain.
Rain Center?
Rain, yeah. Yeah, Rain seemed, yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you, Diana. That was really good. Just sparked some stuff, because, she actually has a very, it's a very factual point. A lot of the buildings that are being built, right? They have to have, with the intention of offering different resources, right? There's a name for it exactly. It escapes me right now, but
the city is also mandating that too.
so then, we could just look into that a little bit, but yeah, I am
Thank you.
no, thank you.
Yeah, like, thank you.
Thank you. Our board meeting, do you have
No.
anything else to say?
Anybody online?
Anybody online?
That's an old hand, Diana. Oh,
Yes,
yeah.
So just a update, we are, our full board meeting this month is November 30th. I'm already in December. That would be next Thursday, November 30th. You can come, it's gonna be over at Einstein. We can share that information with you. It's always on our CB11 website, all of our agendas and calendars. If you can't come in person, you can always log in via WebEx. right? So keeping in touch that way. We're gonna reconvene, talk about everything that we discussed today. I know Buddha, you and I talked about some things in December that are coming up, like when you do your shelter distribution. You let me know. Will you let us all know about that? And yeah, we are available.
And we are here.
Yeah, perfect. And just for everybody listening, we are collecting lightly used clothes,
Yeah.
old clothes that you guys can't
Coat
wear.
drive.
Coat drives. We're gonna implement everything.
Yeah, we're gonna do a code drive this.
December, January, February, we kind of concentrate on all that stuff. Obviously, it's some of the colder months, but
Do you have a social media?
yes.
We Rise as One NYC We Rise as One NYC on Instagram.
Mhm.
It's also the email address, We Rise as One NYC at Gmail.
NYC.
Yeah, you can see the video from Thanksgiving, from our turkey drive, which is
Okay. Okay, perfect.
I
Like
saw
you
there,
clothes,
put it on.
Yeah, I see it, yeah.
shoes.
Yes, everything.
Yeah.
Like-
Socks, hats, anything like that.
Okay.
How are you guys collecting? Are you guys like having a?
You call Buddha and he come get it now.
Very close to it. I can figure it out.
We know, yeah, we figure it out.
Let that
What
go.
else?
One of our phones ringing, we call it. And then Buddha called me and then we start calling people.
I think we could do. I could reach out and I could see if we can get a box set up here,
Mhm.
so people in here.
That would be
That'd be beautiful.
that'd be ideal, yeah.
That's
Even the 30th, like if we can do at the
At the full board?
at the full board meeting.
I'm definitely gonna come. I'm not
Yeah.
doing all that stuff. That's not me. I'm gonna be.
I'm like, I'm
That's
gonna be
awesome.
We'll talk.
my office is in Brooklyn.
Awesome.
You live in Brooklyn? You
Yeah, I
got-
work in Brooklyn. Yeah, I work in Brooklyn. I go to Brooklyn and back every day.
I live in that.
And he lives in Brooklyn now.
Well, you know what? You'd be happy to know our board meeting starts at 7 and we're there until about 11:30.
I'm in Brooklyn for like, I'm still in Brooklyn at
Something
7.
early then.
Yeah, I'm still in Brooklyn at 7.
Brooklyn, but we're there until 11:30 usually.
But then I get
Oh
on the
my
train.
Not this month. Be the little station.
I'm not lying. That's-
I tell everybody who wants me on calls, I'll be like, I gotta go underground for about an hour. Once it comes above ground, I'll get on whatever call you want.
Yeah.
But from the Barclays to Jackson Avenue,
Oh, yeah.
I'm underground.
Oh, I know. It's far. Yeah.
My office is downtown Brooklyn, so I get on at the bar. I gotta tell people the bar because I don't know nothing about Brooklyn.
You-
They be like, "What part of Brooklyn you in?" I was
I'm
like,
still learning about
"The Barclays." Tell them about the Barclays. That's all I know.
All right, cool.
Thank you so
No,
much.
thank y'all. Thank y'all.
Thank you.
We're gonna be. This isn't the last time.
No,
It's the first
absolutely
time.
not.
It's not gonna be the last.
And I think this is perfect, right? It ends it in the sense that we want to say we're grateful and thank you for all of the work that you do. And I know we don't have to do that because you do it from the bottom of your heart. Just like all of us, everything that we do, is, just
Yeah.
because, we love our Bronx and our Bronx community. I'm grateful for each and every one of you, that, obviously, joined us tonight for everything that you do. I want to say happy Thanksgiving, happy Indigenous Peoples Day, and just happy long weekend if you don't celebrate. And does anybody have anything to say?
Nope.
That's it.
Happy holidays.
And
Happy holidays, happy Thanksgiving to everybody, and thank you guys again.
Yeah, thank y'all on Zoom.
Yes, thank you guys. for-
Hopefully we'll meet y'all. The rest of y'all who we don't know. Hopefully we'll meet y'all soon.
Very
Happy
soon.
Thanksgiving to everyone.
happy Thanksgiving.
Diana, I'll see you on the block.
Okay.
Thanksgiving, everyone.
See you, James. See you, Buddha.
Diana, on the block.
All right, thank you. Thank you, everybody. All right, have a good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Wait, Diana lives between me
Bye,
and Buddha.
Kate.
Really.
Like
Bye.
Diana lives here.
Did they go off?
I
Camera?
think so.
Okay, have a good night.
Happy Thanksgiving. Good night. Talk to you soon.